of Masechet Zevachim, making fantastic progress here. Actually recording this from Ramat Bet Shemesh Dalet here in the heart of Bet Shemesh, a new, let's say, definitely an ultra-Orthodox part of the city, respectively. And we're talking all about the Bet HaMikdash temple in Jerusalem on these pages of the Gemaras over the last few days, respectively. Now, we are speaking about now, it's like a topic that there was a transportable temple, the transportable Bet HaMikdash. Now, while traveling through the desert, the Midbar, the children of Israel, Bnei Yisrael itself, were commanded to build a collapsible tabernacle, complete with implements for korbanot, for sacrifice. Upon entering the land of Israel, they were commanded to build a temple, a permanent structure where sacrifices would be brought. Although this mitzvah was not fulfilled until the time of Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, hundreds of years after the land was settled, during the interim, the altar was set up on a semi-permanent basis in places like areas like Shiloh. There was another place also known as Nov. Also, there was various different parts of Eretz Yisrael that it was transported, and much is actually chronicled over, especially in, I recommend everyone to look at the book of Joshua, the book of Shmuel, also Shmuel Aleph and Shmuel Bet, and I think eventually in the book of Kings we're going to very much learn about the Bet HaMikdash, the first Bet HaMikdash time period in of itself. So I'm in places like Shiloh, Nov, and Givon, respectively. Now, according to the book of Joshua, I believe in chapter 18, in verse number 1, the first established resting place for the Mishkan, the tabernacle, was the area called Shiloh, where it stood until the war with the Plishtim. During time, let's say that point in time, of Eli the high priest, as we very much learn about in the book of Shmuel, I believe actually in chapter number 4. Now it's actually interesting, we're talking all about the time of Joshua because we're quite near archaeological place right behind me, as you can see, which happens to be the place where Joshua would fight, I think, with the king of Yarmut, which we learn about also. So no coincidence, we're actually speaking about a page of Talmud, and we're actually walking in the Bible, the biblical part of those places that we're talking about also. You won't see many Daf Yomi clips possibly out there that will be speaking about that respectively. But let's continue at the moment. We know that also in the book of Joshua, in chapter number 18, the first established resting place for the Mishkan was an area called Shiloh, where it stood until the war with the Plishtim during the time of Eli the high priest. Obviously we learn about that, and it's described in the second book of Shmuel respectively, I think in chapter 4. As the Mishnah explains, I think we're going to learn about in Masechet Zevachim in page number 112. This was a permanent structure made with a stone foundation and the tabernacle coverings as a roof. Following the destruction of the tabernacle in Shiloh, its remains were erected in Nov, as we learn from the story during King Shaul's reign, Shaul HaMelech's reign. I think we actually have to look at the first book of Shmuel in chapter 21 within regards to that. And later on, we find that King Solomon, Shlomo HaMelech, is going to sacrifice a great altar in Givon. And that once again is learned about, I think, in the book of Kings in the 3rd chapter respectively. Now, it's interesting, I think, and Rav Kuna is going to quote Rav as teaching that when the altar was established in Shiloh, it was constructed of stones, and actually quoting a writer that we find Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov teaching about the word Avanim, respectively, about the word stones, which is spoken about on various occasions before over here. I think the word stones actually itself, Avanim, will appear 3 times. Once, actually, we see that in the book of Shemot, if I'm not mistaken, and twice in Sefer Devarim. And it teaches that the altar must be built of stones in Shiloh, in Nov, and in Givon, and in the permanent temple. Now, I think there's a number of explanations offered to this teaching. I think, first of all, Rabbi Natan, for example, understands that the altar in Shiloh was the original hollow copper altar for the tabernacle, but it was filled with stones. Now, Rav Papa is actually going to weigh in also and suggest that there were 2 altars over there, 2 mizbechot. That was the original copper one and the new stone altar, both of which received heavenly fire at different times. Now, I think in the modern town of Shiloh, interesting enough, the remains of the tabernacle, I think of that split there, have been found, and a modern synagogue has been built commemorating it, interesting enough. So that's a bit of a history lesson, and we're learning all about these pages in the Gemara, a lot of Bible, a lot of biblical let's just say interesting facts. So we were talking about yesterday, I believe, on page number 6, we were talking about the traveling Mishkan also in yesterday's stuff of the Gemara. It's been really action-packed over the last few days, which is something special that we have to point out. We were talking about yesterday about the dimensions of the altar, if it was big enough, and we were learning all about the science within regards to the altar, the Mizbech of the Bet HaMikdash respectively, which was, I think the question was actually posed in yesterday's page, that when King Solomon inaugurated the Bet HaMikdash, which he had built on that specific day, let's just say, in of itself, that he consecrated in the middle of the courtyard, that was the house of Hashem. And we spoke all about exactly what he actually did at that point in time, and how it was maybe a dispute, a robust dispute. That's what we've been learning about in the previous pages. And we're talking all about the passive fire also that there was inside the Bet HaMikdash, and very much followed today by loads of biblical intricacies and so on and so forth. So I think that's a special treat at the moment. We're just going to go for a short walk around here and explore the biblical sides of this beautiful city over here. We are actually recording this Daf Yomi clip here from Ramat Shemesh. Check out Biblical Israel, friends, over here. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. As we learn the Talmud every single day, they're doing construction work in Eretz Israel. We're talking all about the book of Joshua. As I said before, there's a biblical trail right over there, if you go all the way down, which actually encapsulates, let's just say, all of Eretz Israel, all the parts over there. And there's full of synagogues here, full of Bible, and so on and so forth, which is absolutely amazing. So every single day we are learning the Talmud. So as a special treat, friends, and as we are learning at the moment the book of Joshua, let me just zoom on to me. We are going to just speak from it. Please, everyone, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. We are doing Daf Yomi clips every single day of the daily page of the Talmud, which is absolutely phenomenal. And we happen to be here in Masechet Zevachim, actually in the heart of it at the moment, here on page number, I believe, 61, which is absolutely phenomenal. So everyone watching live at the moment, please subscribe and join our community over here as a special treat for all you Daf Yomi listeners, Talmud listeners over here. We're going to speak more about a few more words about it and travel the land of Israel, this beautiful country at the moment, and explore. We have recorded already 60 clips. We've been doing this now for 2 months, the tractate of Zevachim, and we like to go to different places. Each time we film a Talmudic clip. So at the moment we are actually in the area of Bet Shemesh, Ramat Bet Shemesh Daled, and now right, I'll just put the camera on the other side. Now on your right over here, we're talking about the book of Joshua. This was where Joshua went to war against the king of Yarmut, actually on my right at the moment, and where he defeated the king of Yarmut. So all talking about this specific time period in of itself, respectively. We actually are living it and walking it and actually traveling through it at the moment, which is absolutely phenomenal, friends. So it's many reasons to enjoy our community and our channel. We're one of the only channels that out there, when we talk about the Talmud, we actually live it, we actually see it, we actually walk it, experience it itself naturally. Just the importance of just learning Torah. And on this tractate so far, we've been speaking especially about the sacrificial service. We're talking about the Korban Pesach already. We were, as you can see at the moment, we're just driving in biblical Israel at the moment. We've been talking about various different Korban. We've been talking about what was the order of the Korban, what did we do, when did we bring it about, so on and so forth. And we like to explore the various different biblical parts of this beautiful country here at the moment. So we also do tours of the archaeology of Israel, the archaeology of different parts, especially here in Bet Shemesh. And we like to go to different interesting place each time that we record a different video clip, also just to energize and power boost everyone that's watching inside our community. So it's a phenomenal achievement. Friends, we've already recorded Daf Yomi clips since the tractate of Ketubot, which was I think all the way back to if we cast our minds back, it was all the way back to about 3.5 years ago, which is absolutely phenomenal, that is, and a very proud achievement, a very great achievement in of itself, respectively. And we like to travel all over different parts and give over different daily tidbits. It's usually each clip that we do. Sometimes we go live, like now, where anyone that's watching live, please subscribe to the channel now. We are nearing at the moment a staggering 8,000 subscribers, which is a phenomenal achievement. So please join our community. That's the first thing I will say over here on the outset, over here on this special day. And we're just recording videos, trying to power aid all our days with inspirational Talmudic clips, and very interesting as we just progress on and trying to just do more and more as the time goes by. At the moment, we're recording this in Ramat Bet Shemesh Daled. Already, friends, we recorded a tour of Ramat Bet Shemesh Daled today. We've been going to different parts over here. We explored the new mall, and we actually recorded a short clip inside the new mall also, respectively, which I would very much recommend everyone to watch this space within regards to that. And we're just traveling more other places and really trying to get imbued with the greatness of the Torah itself, respectively, over here. So very, very interesting. So as you can all see, we'll just show you the road once again. Also, I've been talking about King Solomon, the time period of the, remember in a lot of the books of Nevi'im we're learning about, and then there's also the Ketubim. So this tractate itself is very much talking about the book of Joshua, the book of Shmuel. Remember, Shmuel actually encompasses two books itself, Shmuel, Aleph and Bet, or Samuel 1 and Samuel 2. And there's also the book of Melachim. Melachim is also known as Kings. That's a book 1 and book 2 also, which talks all about, especially the time periods of Joshua, about that specific time period, about different kings of Israel, especially about King Solomon. We learn about the times of King David also very much so. And we, let's just say, just explore all throughout all those different time periods in of itself, which is very, very important. Now, Zevachim, the tractate that we did before Zevachim, I think we did Horayot just beforehand, which was much more smaller sector. We'll just go through different tractates we've gone through so far, because we've covered a lot of information already inside this series. We started off, as we said before, on Masechet Ketubot, back I think it was about in May 2022. We're talking about 3.5 years ago. Then afterwards we did Nedarim, we did Masechet Nazir. We then I think we got through tractates of Gittin. We did Masechet Kedushin also, and the list goes on really. We did the Babas, if you can recollect. We did Baba Kama, Baba Metzia, and Baba Batra. This was 3 different tractates at that specific point in time. And then we went on to the long tractate of Sanhedrin, which was a very special time on a personal note, especially for me at that stage in time, because we had a baby and a lot of good, that was definitely a golden period, let's just say, of the year. And then we went through Masechet Makot during the Pesach time period, and we did Masechet Shavuot also. And we obviously did smaller Masechtot like Horayot, and we also did, not to forget, Masechet Avodah Zarah, one window of time also, which we also have to point out. So that's very interesting. Now, as I stated before, on this series over here, we record tours all over Israel. We love to explore biblical Israel, different biblical trails. As just to let you all see, we're actually recording all over the city of Ramat Bet Shemesh Daled at the moment, in Bet Shemesh, the different biblical parts of the area, and so on and so forth. How important actually is to travel and to explore and see all of Israel. There's actually a mitzvah. We were in the Parashut, the Torah portions quite recently of Lech Lecha, which talked all about Abraham, how we should walk and possess the land of Israel and explore the land of Israel, if you guys can recollect. And that wasn't so long ago, friends, over here. So everyone, once again, if you're tuning in to the channel at the moment, please subscribe to the channel and join our community, as we have fantastic, absolutely fantastic and awesome content that we're putting up at the moment, which is just very, very special indeed, and just making fantastic progress just in of itself. That's something that we have to point out. Also, at the moment, we're just in the high street here of Ramat Bet Shemesh Daled, just recording these clips as we are just trying to explore biblical Israel. As you can just see, all you fantastic people out there, fantastic watchers, that we are traveling all over and really trying to experience a feel of the land of Israel and all different importances that are taking place. If anyone's new to the channel, once again, please subscribe. We're going to do some videos of great rabbis of yesteryear. We're going to explore about the country Turkey in the coming minutes, and explore around the period of the 1800s and towards the later part of the 19th century and early parts of the 20th century. That is the plan today with what we are going to record about. But it's always a pleasure, like usual, as we explore the land of Israel. We explore the parks and so on and so forth. So I think on that note, we're going to call it a day. Wishing you all a great day, and please everyone subscribe to the channel now, as we are nearing at the moment 8,000 subscribers. Have a great day, guys, and thanks.